We should go live. Yes. Casual day here. Looking live. That looks live. Welcome, Everrose Raymond, ELR 360 Live. Tom Caltabiano here. Talking about all things Everybody Loves Raymond. Somewhere, let's see, my phone. Where might my phone be? Everybody's telling everybody. Okay, yes. Here it is. Awesomeness. Super awesome. Yes, a word that is very overused. Tom Caltabino, ELR 360 Live. We put up, hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello. Yes. Hello. I'm saying hello. I'm assuming we are live everywhere. Let's see this. Yes. Live on everything. Great. Great, everybody. We're going to talk today about, yes, I'm holding my phone. Let me see the comments. Not seeing any comments yet. Let me click on that. Yes? Hello? Texting. Yes. Hello, Paula. Now, Paula, you had a great idea. So let me make sure. Are we live on everything? Yes or no? Yeah. No. Not live on everything. Oh, I know why. Hold on, everybody. Hold on. Instagram. Yes, don't worry. There we go. Yes. Now it should work. Yes. Good? Okay. Hello, Paula. Yes. So, Paula, everybody, don't worry. We'll edit all of that out in post, as they say. The ornaments. We're talking about the ornaments now. For those of you who've never joined, Tom Caltabiano here. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, where we originally started right around the beginning of COVID. We have been, every year we do a Christmas ornament, a ELR 360 Live Christmas ornament, and we're taking votes. Here is one that's not the sled, for those of you that haven't seen. Yes, there is our friend Peter in a photo that I took during season 4, I want to say, the Christmas present episode, maybe. There we go. That is not, those are not my fingers or hands. I do not wear nail polish. That's that good looking. So then we also, this now, Paula, if you're watching, are you on our same time there? There is the Christmas picture that the picture I took of most of the cast. And I think we want to see, we do have one. I did find a picture, but I didn't have time yet to put it on there. But there we go. On the sled, the beautiful sled. There it is in a setting. Yes, in a setting. So let's see. Hello, Annabelle. Hello, everybody. Okay, let me go over to Instagram and try and check the feed, I should say. So, but I can't. I have to be on. I'm on my trusty cool phone here. Then I look at that, and then I switch to this. But see, it's hard for me because why is it hard for me? You can't see you when it's you. You can't see your own live stream. I think you would be caught up in like a perpetual motion machine or something and never to be seen again. Okay. Hello, everybody. Yes. Hello, Annabelle. There we go. There we go. Hello. Hello. Yes. So, Paula, for those of you, we have some fans who have really been here since day one, I would say, or day whenever they discovered it. Paula had the suggestion to use that photo. Now, the other photo that I've used, that I had used, was of the Christmas setting. Let me see, where is it here? So this is one we have from the toaster episode, but you know, that's not a recognizable. I've had people write in and say, that is not from Everrose Raymond. I've watched every show multiple times, and that was not in Everrose Raymond. So that's when he goes to deliver the toaster. Those of you who know it do know that scene. So that's a really cool Christmas setting, but it doesn't have all of our main cast members who we love. So then let me see. I'm looking for. So this one, unfortunately, this is a photo that I took. There we go. During they're reading the Christmas letter. I believe, is that the Christmas letter? Or is that Jazz Records now? I think it is Christmas letter. Frank's not in that scene. And so I didn't crop him out. He's not sitting in the chair in the photograph. He's not sitting in the chair. Now with AI, we could recreate Peter Boyle and have him sitting in that chair, but it would be a tough one. So we are still, so the ones we just put up today, let me just see. Let me see if I can get, let me try and get the feed so I can read your comments. I'm assuming there's a lot of comments on this. I see. So let's switch here. Here's how we're going to do it, everybody. Don't worry. We're enjoying live feed. So now this is going to be loud, maybe, of me. Okay, here we go. Yes. Okay, great. I do see there were a lot of comments. Okay, great. On Instagram. So, yes, the Christmas letter. Now, what is that? Christmas letter photo is nice, but no Frank and Amy. Yes. Okay. So that, obviously, I did not read that as I was saying it. I love that one. I would buy more than one. Oh, Karen. So we may opt to offer, just like Jazz Records last year, where we offered the two different options. So we will, let me talk to my people here who know more than me about ordering and what we can offer, etc. Let me see this one. Okay, I don't know which picture you're referring to there. Yes, for those of you that just are listening, I'm reading comments that are coming through on Facebook and about the thing. Hello, Mona. The first one is Frank is in the one with kids. I would put the one with Frank on my door. And if I had a tree, the one with the shed. The one with Frank. Yeah, so the one with Frank in the Santa hat, because I have a few different from a few different years, is really just a phenomenal picture of pure Frank Barone, not smiling, wearing a Santa hat. So we will keep going. So what we'll do, everybody, don't worry. What we'll do is we'll put up very clear options like number 1, number 2, or number 3, so that you don't have to write much, etc. And then we'll take a vote. And then this week is now what? We're already in November. November 3rd, right? Which means November 4th is tomorrow. Are you guys impressed by my math? And November 4th is the birthday of Doris Roberts. Let me see what it says here. Do I want to do this? Because I don't want to trigger a bunch of Alexas. Alexa, when was Doris Roberts' birthday?
Doris Roberts was born on November 4th, 1925.
November 4th, 1925. So Doris would have been 99 today. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that about makes sense. So let's talk about Doris Roberts. Let me just catch up on comments. Oh, I know how I can do it. I have another device here too. Don't I? Oh, yes, I have it right here. That's funny. Doris, let's talk about Doris Roberts' birthday, but let me just pull up Instagram, and then on this device, I will be able to read without annoying you by having to, let's see this, and let's see that. And then I put the volume down here. Okay. For those of you, what I am looking at is an iPad, which makes it a little bit easier to read. But because I am me, I can't see me being live. So I have to go to another account, let's see, that account, and then I do that. I'm really sorry, people, that you are forced to watch somebody do something live. Yeah, it won't. Let's see. It's got to let me out of here. Keep me going. By the way, I have a site called People Laughing, and it's literally just that, pictures of people laughing, and it is awesome. Okay, hopefully the volume's not on here. And now, so success. Now the perpetual thing of me looking at me, looking for questions about me. So yes, let's see this one. So glad I'm catching this live. Yes, Maxine. Why haven't you been live? Where is your doctor's note that you've missed it live? I'm glad that you joined live, because then I can also answer your questions. Yes, Doris Roberts will be 100 next year. Okay, so let me just catch up Gary Harris, I wonder if they celebrate birthdays on the other side. Lots. That is an unanswerable one. Maybe someday we'll find out. Hopefully not too soon. In the finale, Ray said his mom's birthday was December 9th. I thought that maybe it was really Doris's birthday. Yes. No. That makes sense. Yes. Hello, Ryan, right in Wisconsin. Hello, Karen Jack. I always wondered that too. Maybe it was Phil's mom, Helen's birthday. I thought her birthday was, by the way, excellent question for Phil. Excellent question to figure out what December 9th, whose birthday was and is and has been December 9th. Which episode of the cast laughed the most while rehearsing? Robert and Marie's vision, the Tin Man. Yes, Andrea. Excellent question. Really excellent question. Hello. I'm just saying hello. That's a hello back. Okay. So aloha. Oh, yeah. So it's hard for me to see the other for some reason. I'm kind of caught up. Yeah, let's find out Ray's mother's real birthday. I think I'm going to see Ray and Phil today. Will I be seeing them today? Yes. I have to race to see them today. So I'll find out. Excellent question. This is good. The mystery will be solved. Yes. So if you go, I'm only plugging the People Laughing. It's literally just called People Laughing, and it's photos that I have taken through the years of people laughing, and it should make you smile when you see that. Yes. Hello. Okay. So Doris Roberts. A lot of people ask me, what was it like with Doris Roberts? What was Doris Roberts like? How was she to spend time with? Let's see. We all loved Doris Roberts. So the Marie character, just for everybody's following at home, the Marie character was really the driving engine of the series. So without Marie, it's very, very, very hard to sustain a series for 8 years. If you're talking the fundamentals of script writing, and if you think about it, any good story, the protagonist, the main person, has to have obstacles in their life. So as I've said many times, we would like to have no obstacles in our life. But that would not be realistic, because that is not how life works, unfortunately. So the more the main character is trying to get something, and then it's out of reach, that's when you become interested. So as I've said in the past, if your friend is a really unbelievably attractive person and they won the lottery, even though their family is rich, and they graduated top of their class, and then they married the perfect person and have perfect kids, that is a very boring story to watch. It's a very good story to live, but it's not a good story to watch. So in the simplest way, Marie's character, Doris Roberts played exquisitely, was the thing that prevented everyone from being happy. I recommend, don't be that person. Don't be the person that prevents everything from everybody from being happy. But that is what Doris Roberts did. Okay, hold on. I lost my Instagram feed there. Let's go back and let's going back, and now back. Okay. So Doris as Marie, and we're going to talk back about, we're going to go back to when she was first cast, but Marie could not have been the more important role in the series. Without her, the series goes away. Now, we talked about doing a reboot. People have asked about a reboot. And again, it's because of the love of the show. So people want a reboot of every good show. You're like, why couldn't they come back for a few more episodes? Because they brought me so much joy. So in the incarnation that you knew it as regular Everybody Loves Raymond, it would not be possible without Marie. It just isn't. Now, having said that, Amy and Robert with You Need Some Type of Nemesis, and that would have still been Marie, but since she's no longer around, it would be really tough. So I think for the people who just have trouble accepting that there isn't going to be a reboot, we're hoping that maybe we can do like a clip show or a highlight show and talk to Patty and Raymond and Brad Garrett and Alex Manessis and find out where everybody is. Now, Doris Roberts. So when Doris Roberts was cast originally, they're looking for the mother character, which I think the wife was the hardest one to cast as far as just, it's a very unique combination of characteristics, which is likable, attractive enough. Obviously Patty was almost, she wasn't too attractive, but it wasn't like, oh, could we believe her with, stretching the limits of believability. And I would say that directly to Raymond's face, that Patty is out of his league. So that's a very hard one to cast. Comedy, drama, this stuff. Then the mother was pivotal. And when they had the casting session, one of the people they read was Doris Roberts. And there was a lot of potential candidates, older in a good way, older, mother type figure. They are plenty of them in Hollywood. And when Doris Roberts came in, she was very direct and basically said, nobody else should get this part. I am this part, etc. Now I'm paraphrasing, but she went in with a bravado and a gusto that can go the wrong way. It could be threatening. It could be, and one thing you can't do in casting. Let me let you guys know how casting works, especially back then. You walk into a room. There's 3 or 4 people, maybe a few more people, depending on the level of the judgment that is being made. Meaning, if the big people who are making the final decision are in the room, then there's probably more than when you have the initial meeting with the casting director and maybe the casting director's assistant and maybe a producer. So initially, the casting director will take 1,000 submissions and narrow it down to 10 because that's their job. And they're very good at it. And they don't want to waste the time of the producers, who are extremely busy, especially when you're trying to create a show. You're trying to get the script in order. You're trying to do, a million different things. So they narrow it down to a handful, like 10. So anytime I wrote a script, Phil, in a nice way, would let us be in on the casting process. So we would be sitting in Phil's office. This is after the show was on the air. And Lisa Miller-Katz would send, let's say, 10 candidates for, I don't know, for the Dr. Sundrum. That's one that Ray and Kevin James and I wrote. And he would send us a whole bunch of different, she sent us a whole bunch of different doctors. This one happened to be Indian because he was based on my doctor, Dr. Sundrum, in New Jersey. And so there we are reading, not all Indian, but all kinds of different actors come in, and we sit there, and you generally get a feel. Sometimes it gets down to 2 or 3. Sometimes you're like, oh, that person, without a doubt, not even a question, home run, holy moly, they're funnier than what we wrote. Let's hire them. And what Phil or any producer wants to do is, you don't want to sit there and go, I cast this person, and the writer is, by the way, I'm speaking for the way that the show is run on Everest Raymond. On other shows, you have no say as a writer. And the showrunner's just like, yeah, I made that decision and you'll see who I got. But in a teamwork environment, hopefully the writer, when they were writing, had something in mind, specific, not necessarily a person, but how it was going to be acted out. So with Doris Roberts, with that, we cast the guy who played, I think his last name is Iqbal. Now Doris Roberts goes in for her cast reading. And usually you're very respectful. You come in, they don't want to hear funny and this and kidding around. Deliver the lines and get out. Deliver the lines, hit a home run and get out, and never think about it again. That's the actor. That's what the actor has to do. Go in, deliver the line. That is your job, is to deliver the lines. And I say, no kidding around. Hi, how are you? Boy, traffic was tough. All this stuff. In the lower level parts, they don't want to hear, they don't want to waste time. They're reading so many people, and they just want to see, can you deliver? So for Doris Roberts to come in and push her finger in someone's chest and be like, you better, I am this part. You better give me this part. I don't want anyone else playing this part. And I think there might've been some expletives coming out of her mouth that at the time is a big risk, because you never know whose temperament is weird, who got up on the wrong side of the bed, who's an egomaniac, who's like, hey, you're not going to tell me how I make my show, etc. But luckily, Phil and the president of CBS and all the powers that had to give a thumbs up or thumbs down, gave it a unanimous thumbs up. And now it comes time to, they rehearsed the table read, and then it comes time to film the Fruit of the Month Club scene, which happened to Phil Rosenthal in real life and was one of the best scenes in the pilot. And of course, for those of you that aren't familiar with the process, which how would you be? Because I had zero knowledge of it, even with an interest in TV, I had zero knowledge of it before Rose Raymond. When it comes time to deciding what gets on television, it comes down to a handful of people. And so they'll do a test, maybe. They'll have an audience from an innocuous place of everywhere America, and they all have knobs, and they watch the show, and they rotate the knob to the right when they like it, and they put it to the left when they don't like it, and it's neutral. Terrible way to judge, but that process does happen. So they go, how did the show do in testing? That's what they're talking about. How did those 200 strangers in Minnesota, how did they respond to the show? Well, it's a biased thing. Seinfeld notoriously scored extremely low and went off the air as the #1 show in television 9 years later. So you can't really count on it unless, they're doing the testing and it's just everybody hated the show, etc. So once it gets past to that feedback, the real decision, it's not like a vote. The real decision happens in an office with a handful of people, the president of the network, some other people, and they're just sitting around discussing, and your life is on the balance. And so if the head of the network is not convinced and doesn't think it's good, and let's say all the testing is terrible, and this is the worst tested show we ever have, well, and if he puts it on the air or she puts it on the air and it tanks, then it looks like, there's a phrase called CYA, which is cover your ass, which is, here's why I didn't put it on the air. It's because the testing on a scale of 1 to 100 got a 12. And so I think I can't take that risk. Now, if the head of a network just believes in it and is like, I just have a gut feeling, and that's what happens more than not. You'd be amazed that there's $1 million show that's been shot and edited and millions of dollars on the line and careers on the line. And it's just the president going, yeah, let's put that on the air. And I am very much not exaggerating. That is how the final thing goes. So the Fruit of the Month Club that Doris performs flawlessly in the pilot is one of the main reasons that the show gets on the air. And when they had the upfronts, which is when you present your schedule to all of the advertisers, the reason why Rose Raymond made so much money for the network is because insurance companies and Ford Motor Company was willing to advertise on this family-friendly show. At that event where you court all of those advertisers, Ray Romano walked out with a box of pears and presented it to the president of CBS. So a pivotal role. Doris Roberts hits it out of the park, and it becomes a show that airs and still has to prove itself because it's on Friday nights at 8:30. And the last time they had a hit Friday night 8:30 was Gomer Pyle. For those of you out of the country or who are not familiar with the television shows of America, that was in the 60s, maybe early 70s or something like that. So like 25 years earlier, CBS had a hit. And since then, they've had a tremendous string of nothing working. Okay, so now Doris Roberts. What is Doris Roberts like? So just on the day-to-day level, Doris was unbelievably professional. Someone wrote to me something recently. She took acting classes, I think until she could no longer get to acting classes. So she really practiced her craft. And she was amazing when you would watch. And one of the things I remember in an episode, I think it's an episode that Ray and I wrote called Jealous Robert. She's stirring the pot and her back is to the camera. And she said to Phil, Phil, I'm going to do some, she wasn't being funny. I'm laughing because it sounds crazy. She's like, I'm doing some back acting. And when you watch that scene, and I hope I know we wrote it, Ray and I wrote it. I'm hoping it's the same one where she's stirring the pot and Ray is unraveling this evil plan by Deborah to try and get Robert jealous over Gianni. And she's sitting there stirring, and Ray turns to her, I think, and says, Mom, can you believe this? And she doesn't turn around. And then she said, can you believe this? Deborah, and I forget, Doris's line is something like, I didn't need Deborah's help, or something like that. So in that point, Doris, who's such a student of the craft, is back acting. And sure enough, when you watch her, you're like, oh, this is a diabolical plan that has been crafted by these two women in cahoots. And I'm getting all that from a woman stirring a pot, not facing the camera. Let me catch up on some comments. Look at all these comments. Here we go. I get lost in the fantastic story. Let me see. Your math teacher is probably beaming right now. If you make more than one ornament, I will get them. Then I will have to get a tree this year. That's okay. I can cut one. Yes, Annabelle, aren't you in the middle of Connecticut somewhere? For those of you, Connecticut does have a lot of foresty, nice places. Okay. Let's see this. Hi, Tom. I ordered a big spoon. Will they come before Christmas? I ordered 2 big fork and spoon. In September, will they come? Wow. Hi, Mark. Yes, they usually come in within days. Let me check. Let me have my people check on that, because that we can definitely help you with. Okay, Mark Torre. We noted, Mark. Noted. Yes, they always go out, and I personally hand lick the envelopes. Well, not really, because I don't think they're licked anymore. Okay, let's see. The toaster. Let me see this. Yes, Karen. Yes. Okay. Wow. The toast. So here's the thing. Also, just for people, the photos that I put on that Christmas ornament are photos that I took, because I have the rights to those photos, and it gets nebulous if it gets nebulous legally if I start putting pictures of the show, screen grabs, etc. Because you guys have some great suggestions, but I don't have, from the toaster episode, I have a few of the, I will pull up every single Christmas episode photo that I took. And of course, as the years went on, I took more and more photos as we realized that, hey, we might be publishing a book. So the Jazz Records has a lot more photos than the Ball episode. Jazz Records, I believe, season 8. Let's see now. Raymond's birthday is December 21st. Yes. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Wow. Marie was the greatest character. Doris Roberts was unbelievably fabulous. That is quite the descriptor, and I agree. There can never be a reboot. Too many of the greats are gone. Yes, it would have to be a different type of reboot. But yes, okay. Let me see this episode of Raymond that shows Raymond ever moved. Robert had any children? Yeah, that would be good. So sorry, for those of you listening and not seeing, I'm bringing up a couple of comments. So one of the I'll answer that in 1 second, Karen. Let me just answer that now. I'll answer them both. So a lot of people are like, I wish Robert and Amy had kids, and that was announced that she was pregnant at the end of the show. So that would have been great, but Phil Rosenthal had plans to do a spinoff, and a spinoff with Robert and Amy married and living with, obviously they got married in the show, living across from their parents or near their parents or something. I don't think the premise was fully worked out yet, but if they were pregnant at the end of the series, then they would have to have a kid already to start the series. So that would limit your story ideas on the other side. Now, in hindsight, as we sit here and talk about the show, it would have been great for that announcement. It would have been a great bow tie, not bow tie, a great bow on the end of the series. And I think it would have brought a nice feel-good feeling to that finale. But now you know the inside story that there was a spinoff planned. Okay, Karen, I don't know, did you ever consider another actress for Amy? I think those of you who have listened know how it went down. Let me see. The handsome episode, I'm trying to remember which number it was in season 1. It was suggested that perhaps Phil's wife could play that role, Phil Rosenthal, a Hofstra graduate and theater study, and his wife Monica was also in the theater program, but they didn't know each other back then. They met shortly after. So she was an actress, and it was suggested by Steve Scrovan, Monica would really be good at this because she's vulnerable and all of these things, etc. So I don't know that they decided to see other people for that role. That would be a great question for Lisa Miller Katz. Awesome, no. Let me see. Yes, plenty of ums to go around. The kid cast doing great. More importantly, the writing was great. Subtle scene enhancers rather than annoying scene stealers. Yes, I feel great when I see the twins, though. Yes, yeah, they were great. Phil and Ray didn't want the show to be about the kids. Yes. Very sad, obviously, about that, if you think about it. Gomer Pyle started in 1964. I wonder when it went off the air. I can ask it, but I don't want to take the time. Marie had the best look on her face whenever Robert yelled anything. Like, all right. Yes, he was good. Iqbal. Oh, I was correct. Dave, there you go. Thank you, Gil. Okay, just because you're here now, Gil, and maybe you've been here the whole time. I haven't been. You mentioned this cookie, which sounds crazy for an American to hear. Let me do this. Here we go. We flip the camera. I'm going to try these. So for an American, it's not a good sounding name, Speculus. And you might say, oh, well, tough. Who cares? Because that's what they're called. But for those of you who are American, who have never seen that word in your life, Trader Joe's is a store. I don't think you guys have it in the UK or in Australia, but Trader Joe's makes stuff. So this is kind of like, this is what Gil had mentioned before. I guess it's a style of cookie, right? The name, is it Dutch or something, which would make sense. And there it is. I will be trying one of those. Oh, it says Belgian cookies. That's funny on the cover. Oh, these. Okay. So yes, Gil, thank you for that. Dr. Sundram, Iqbal. Boy, I picked that one out of the hat. Let's see. Plenty of so many comments. Let me see what when Deborah comes in during the fight to remind Maria of how they talked and worked out. Yes. Where can we buy stuff? Hi, Kathy. You can buy it on our shop, which has been up for 4 years now. ELR360shop.com. If you go to the top of Instagram, I'll post it. It's usually under every single post. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes don't. Okay. A little bit of it. Okay. My mug stuck to my thing. Here we go. Like, here's our Habanada. Holy crap. You're an idiot wrapped in a moron. These are our favorite quotes mug voted on by. By the way, what am I drinking? Oh, yes. Look at this. Is this Scottish or is this British? There we go. A little bit of my tea out of our favorite quotes mug. Yeah. I think for the people screaming at the screen, I don't see. Let me see. Hold on. Let me just. It's just not cooperating. 120 years old. Wow. Awesome. But still doesn't say where it's from. I would say it's a good, someone can look it up. Tell me. Lion's tea. It's either, I think it's Britain. Now, yes. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm receiving a couple messages. Yes. So our shop, you can find it on our shop, just like our favorite quotes mug. I was gonna say there's some places where I see these weird T-shirts, and it's often a scam, and I'm like, who's scamming? Who are these people out there? And oh yes, let's talk about that real briefly. I posted a video for those of you that saw it with me sitting with Phil Rosenthal and your friend Raymond. We had lunch and we made a video because Ray, and I don't, some people misinterpreted everything is up for misinterpretation. It's amazing. Ray, there's an AI of Ray saying, hey, reach out to my manager. And it's completely false. It's not Ray. It's an AI generated Ray. But I see a lot of people writing two things on my message. Yeah, everybody can tell it is, except for when you look and there's 10 people who are like, hi, Ray, come here. Hi, Ray. Yes, I would love to join your special VIP club that you're asking from me from my email address to send in stuff. So for those of you that are like, how can anybody know? There's people that don't realize that there can be an AI Ray Romano. One of those persons is Ray Romano. So that's why we had made that video. Ray is not against social media. He just doesn't do it. He never has. He's pretty agnostic about it. Just for him, it's not something he wants to do. So a lot of people are like, well, you know, how dare he, you know, be angry about, so he's not angry about social media. He's just trying to protect innocent people from being taken advantage of. So there we go. So that was I hope you enjoyed that. I hope I can get some more messages on that. Let's see. Just hopped over. Hi, Karen. So Karen, who came up to me and Phil in Texas, startled us. But luckily, she was more than friendly, and her husband, super nice. Just came over, just hopped over from Instagram. I feel like there's a lot more active. Well, it is easier for me to read, you know. It is easier for me to read the comments because, unfortunately, the comments don't feed into my thing that it is. Here, hold on, let me see. Here we go. For those of you that missed it, okay, let's do this. Yes, no, I don't want to. I got it. Okay.
The real Ray
okay,
Romano.
So here.
All right. I'm here with Raymond, the real Ray Romano here. Oh, yeah. And this is Tom. I was a writer on Evers. Raymond, you have social media?
I do not.
You don't do any social media?
Never been on social media,
Wow.
and I don't plan on it. I am not on any social media.
You don't have an account, because this is technically on, but you don't have an account.
I don't have an account.
You don't ask people to DM you, to friend you, to send you money, anything like that?
No. So be careful.
Yeah, be careful there.
If anyone says that they're me, first of all, I don't know who would want to be. And second, I appreciate that you guys are fans, but no, it's not me on the social media.
But you know who does have social?
There we go. So there you got, for those of you that missed it, that was Ray talking about it. And Ray laughed because when he said, I don't know who would want to be me, a woman was walking by and started laughing. And that's why if you watch it again, you'll see Ray kind of ducking to see who that woman was, who were made, you know, big fan of the show. Folks, sure us fans. Hi, Hawkeye. Good evening. Big fan of the show and the photos and stories you share with us fans, Tom. Best regards from northern Portugal. What is the pastry from there? Pastéis de natas. That's a very good pastry. For those of you that haven't tried it, it's a Portuguese one. Okay, so let me see this. Let me scroll through. Wow. There was a fake Patty Heaton who was answering people here. Okay, yeah. So Mona, yes. So just keep your eye out. Generally, most celebrities will not be directly DMing you saying, hi, join my fan club. Hi, good to see you. Hi. The checked marked just liking a photo is really possible. So that's why we did that video, by the way, for the people who are like, why are you doing that video? I get it. Okay, Ray, we get it. Well, a lot of people, unfortunately, don't get it right away. Okay. So, what? Oh, yes. Plenty of ums here. So this is from Ireland. Who's our Irish? Where is Donnell? Donnell is a big fan of Irish tea. So, okay. Yes, you can see our shop. You can find our shop everywhere. So Okay, so let me
You guys
do
are
this. Okay, let me go. Sorry, now I'm doing this. I go back here and then I go to this. It won't let me do that. And so this. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on Instagram. Let me know if there's any good Instagram questions. So back to Doris Roberts. What was Doris like to hang out with on stage? First of all, it's 9 years and it is a job. So you're coming down. So it's not like the excitement for me, even like the only time I met David Bowie, where it's like, oh my gosh, this is like a giant celebrity. Or I was in the room. That's worth a story at some point. I will tell the story of almost meeting a big celebrity. But comically kept away, even though we were about 8 feet from this person who wanted to meet us. Is that enough of a teaser? So, you're there working every day, and it's as for those of you that have been watching me for a long time describing the process, it's a very, very detailed, focused, it's not a grind. You're not in a coal mine, but there's a lot of details that goes into every single day. And so, we're here with this world's greatest actress doesn't, you see it from afar, you realize it, but you're like, oh, I want her to say the joke this way, in your head. So it becomes a much more working relationship. So Doris was always phenomenal in every way, at the table read, at the filming, all the time. She would bring just the greatest performance always. And you would be incredibly blown away by how good she was, and the rest of the cast. I don't want to take anything away from the rest of the cast, but Doris was so, she was older than Peter Boyle. She, in many ways, was more vibrant than everybody on the show. Patty had 2 children while she was on the show, and 4 children in total, which will take a little bit of your energy away. Raymond, was working in the writer's room, in the editing room, doing everything. And Doris was just like the consummate professional actress. Now, she had a Christmas party every year, which those of you who've been watching have heard about. And when it comes close to Christmas time, and again, we're only talking about Christmas ornaments now because some people are like, you didn't talk about Thanksgiving or this. I missed everything. We're only doing it because you need a lead time to get everything ready for Christmas. But Doris had a Christmas party every year. It was awesome. It was awesome for us to go to her house. She was a great hostess. It was a great, great time there. I go into it in detail when I talk about it closer to Christmas. But she was a very fun-loving person. Now, there was one incident that happened where we all went to a food festival at Universal Studios. Universal Studios was around the corner from Warner Brothers Studios, and Phil would pay for this charity event. It was something called Angel Food or something like that. And it was this giant, giant event. So many vendors. Wolfgang Puck is there, and maybe 100 other chefs on the back lot of Universal Studios. And one night we went, and for those of you that remember the Young Girl episode in real life, the thing that sparked that episode happening was Phil wanted to know who I was going to bring to this festival. And I was actually in New Jersey with my father, who had to have a quadruple bypass. And so I was on the phone. I told Phil, I think I'm going to bring that young girl who I wasn't dating, but she wanted to come to the show, and she came to the show one time. And then I said, I'll invite her. She was a lovely, nice person. And so Phil said, great. And then when I came back from being tending to my father in New Jersey, I walked in the writer's room and Phil said, hey, don't bring that young girl because it'll cause problems with my wife. I've talked with our wives. And so I've talked about this story that I'm telling you at length, but that I said, okay, Phil, okay. And then I brought the woman, the girl anyway. And that night, Doris Roberts was leaving with us. We were all walking out. And Doris, who had, it was also not only food, but there was a lot of wine there, a lot of free wine there. And so I'm not saying Doris had a lot to drink, but she might have had enough to drink, but she tripped and fell. And she was fine, but she is a giant star and we can't do the show without her. So we a handful of us, me, Lou Schneider. I want to say Steve Scrovan. I definitely know Lou Schneider, myself, the young girl. We all went to the hospital to make sure that Doris was okay. And so we stayed with Doris. And in fact, somewhere in my archives is a picture of her because she was fine. She acted that week, but she had some bruises. So we could only shoot her from a certain angle. And there's a way to figure that out because you would have to be a real detective. But you can see if they don't show her in full face for that episode. So while we were in the hospital, I had to sit there and listen to these other terrible human beings who are called fellow writers who use that opportunity to say a lot of jokes about the young girl, about curfews, etc. But that was a memorable night with Doris, who was a trooper, by the way, didn't complain. We're like, Doris, you have to go to the hospital because you just have to go. And so, because you want to make sure that nothing's broken, and you want to make sure that she's also in good shape for the show. Her not complaining and just completely being a trooper landed on me. I remember that very, very clearly about Doris. Okay. Let me see. Let me scroll. Let's see some of these. Sorry, I don't know a lot of these people, so I'm reluctant. But Karen, I know I can trust. Okay, I'll ask my Instagram question here. What was the tofu turkey made of? Was it tofu, and what did it taste like? Did they actually swallow it, or did they spit it out? It looked truly disgusting. Karen, that was Karen Giacalone. That is a question for Rhonda Robinson, who I think, if I can, get her in the studio with me to answer that question, because I've asked her and I don't know if she remembers, but it was some type of gelatin type of thing. Yes, looked terrible. Did exactly what we hoped to look terrible. But we'll find out. But I think that it was like a gelatin type of ick. I mean, it was terrible. So where were we? Doris Roberts in the hospital. Doris Roberts being a trooper. So now Doris Roberts throughout the series was phenomenal. And one of the things that I remember, other than the Christmas parties, etc., was going in New York. Doris and I had to share a cab ride up to New York. We were in downtown New York. This was for the finale. And on the finale date, I don't know why Doris and I were in a cab together and just having this alone time to recollect about everything about the show and what we had been through with the show, etc. Now, Doris Roberts was a veteran of Broadway. So when I say what we'd been through with the show, Doris Roberts had an insane career before Everybody Loves Raymond and continued to work after Everybody Loves Raymond. And so it's not that it's a blip in her career. It's a big highlight, but much like Peter Boyle, these are, giant actors and actresses. But I remember having that great alone time with her. And then the same thing happened. We were in Las Vegas together. And not Doris and I on a gambling binge. We were there for something called the I'm trying to frame it for you guys. When they go into syndication, there's a tremendous amount of wealth with syndication. When I asked the president of CBS, where is the money? Where do you make money in TV business? And he said syndicators, owners of individual TV stations, are cash cows. So they make a lot of money. The affiliates, they're called. And so when the affiliates have a party, which they did in Las Vegas to celebrate the syndication of Everybody Loves Raymond, they had a band. They had a local band called that performed for 200 people in this Vegas casino dining area. So it wasn't like it was just a conference room type of thing, but very nice. The local band for that show was Fleetwood Mac. And Fleetwood Mac did a private show for 200 people. That tells you the type of wealth that is situated with that. And my friend Mark, who I've known since we're 6 years old, who lives in San Diego, loves going to Vegas, plays golf with Raymond. And I said, why don't you come with me? And so another time, there's another time when all of a sudden we're in the car with Doris. So it's me, Doris and my friend Mark, who is not in the business. Somewhere I have a photo of them in the back seat of the car, sharing a ride and talking, just having that alone time to chat with Doris and hear stories. So just phenomenally nice, phenomenally fun. You wish you could hang with all of these people all the time. She was a force of nature. She was very much like Marie in her power. You would be surprised if she was like this shrinking violet, timid person. After the show, Doris, we would see Doris occasionally. When Peter died, we all flew to New York together. I have a picture of Doris with us in the actual, when you are on a jet service, there's something called an FBO. An FBO stands for fixed base operation. If you look it up, it's basically a small little terminal. And she was great on that trip with Peter, going to Peter's funeral, which is a whole nother conversation. And eventually, Doris Roberts we would see her, Ray would have a party, we would see her there. And then eventually, we all have to go. And when we heard news of Doris, Ray called me when it happened. And then Ray and I happened to be, Ray was filming the movie The Big Sick, and I was there helping. And so Ray spoke at the New York funeral, which was at a Broadway theater. As I don't know if Phil spoke. Phil was there, and there were a bunch of Broadway people there for Doris. And it was quite, and I think another time, because we're going to run out of time today, I will share all of that in detail of Doris's service. But it was obviously a very, very sad occasion, but really great to see everybody celebrating her life. And afterwards, we went to someone from New York will know. I think it was Sardi's. Is Sardi still around? It's a legend. And so somewhere I have pictures from that. Let's see. Do I have any pictures of the Fleetwood Mac show? Paula. I don't know if I do. So I'm almost never without my camera. The only time I'm ever without my camera is there was a rare one just recently. Even when I went to a White House years ago, like 10 years ago, I went to a White House Christmas party. I brought my camera, and they took it away from me right before I took a picture with the president. They made sure I didn't have anything that I could do dastardly deeds with. So I'm almost never without my camera. However, every once in a while, Paula, I will go, okay, I don't want to cause any problems. There's one time when Ray was performing for the Kennedy Center, and I have my camera always, and I was helping Ray, and I think I told the story. It involved Yo-Yo Ma and deodorant, Ray's deodorant, something like that. But I did not go into the hotel with Raymond, where he was staying and all the celebrities were staying for the Kennedy Center honors. And I got surrounded by security. Ray called down. They still wouldn't let me go. Ray had to come down to release me because they thought I was paparazzi. So there is a chance that I didn't have it for that Fleetwood Mac. So nothing pops in my head. I have a picture of my friend Mark in the back of the car with Doris. But I will check. Excellent question. I do have we did go to Ray was doing stand-up with Brad, and then people in the audience spotted Doris, and then she had to sign a bunch of autographs. Let's see all of these. Let me see this. Bob. Hello, Bob. Aloha. If Doris has a written memoir, you mean her book, Bob? Are you talking about her book? Yes. So as a matter of fact, she had a cover photo, and the publisher, I remember, didn't want to pay for the cover photo. I did not take it. And it was a great photo. It is a great photo. I can pull that up if you want. But I remember they didn't want to pay, and she's like, it has to be this photo. And I think they paid $5,000 for it or something like that, which seems like chump change. You know what I mean? Yes. Hi, Karen again. Still writing for TV? Yes. Writing many different things. I do a kids thing. I do, yes, lots of stuff. I help out people when they're appearing places. Oh, let's see. Hi. Oh, Karen, you're just flooding me with questions now. When you say professionally, I saw Fleetwood Mac in Montreal. Oh, that's good. Do I take professionally or just a hobby? So, Karen, it's weird because I've been paid to take photos, but it's not my main occupation, even though the Evers Raymond photo book has mine. And I did I did a TV show with a bunch of people called The Kimchi Chronicles. My photos are in there, and my photos have been published in a lot of big publications. So, but I'm not a photographer for hire, if that's because I would disappoint people by not showing up because I have to write stuff. Let me see this. Big fan of yes. Okay. Oh, now scrolling back. Okay. So nice to see when you are with Phil and Ray. Yeah. Again, I will see them shortly. Oh, you know what I do have? Let me see this. Oh, should I take? So here, the suspense, because we're running out of time again. Speculoos. Does everybody know what speculoos is? I can't even. Let me see if I have. Can I get thumbs up on Instagram? Here's the Instagram. Wow, look at all these comments on Instagram. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna have to. Let me just see. I'm gonna have to read these. Ray tried to put Deborah in the fridge, but she was just too. Yes, Platinum Phil. I never laughed so hard. Yes, a very funny moment. My favorite was the one with Ray, Deborah, Ray, Amy. Fly out there. Sorry, going to yes, the retirement community one. Sorry, I'm just scrubbing through this. Tom, everything on Insta is not backwards anymore. Yes, you can thank Joe. You can thank StreamYard. How were the birthdays? Hi, Paige. Is it Paige? Is it Paigey? How were the birthdays celebrated on set? Oh, excellent question. Let me do this. Let me open this speculoos thing. What is the cookie? I already forget that you hand out on the airlines. Let me see this. Biscoff. Okay, here we go. I'll answer that about stuff. So there we go. This is a Trader Joe's. So again, Trader Joe's, a store that you don't have in the United Kingdom. I don't think. If you do, let me know. I'd be very curious. All right, let's see how this tastes. The previous chewing was brought to you by Trader Joe's. Let me see. Okay, so it tastes just like a Biscoff. For those that don't know, look it up. But for us, if you're on an international flight, you get that little thing and you feel like you haven't eaten in 4 days. And so you dig into it and you love it. Okay, let's see this. Let's go back to this. Now let's catch up. Okay.
I was correct.
Okay, going back. All right. Okay, so you don't have them in England. You do have Biscoffs, but you don't have Trader Joe's. Okay. A friend of mine invented, this sounds like a non sequitur. A friend of mine invented the paste. So what it doesn't let me do is scroll up on comments. So that's why it's a non sequitur to me. Yes, I do cookies. I try and do cookies almost every show or every other show or every couple of shows because we tasted them in the writer's room on Raymond, and I continue the tradition here, especially as they call them biscuits in the United Kingdom, which are not so sweet. So how did we celebrate on the set, the birthday? We can use that as our closing discussion here. Let me see. I'm going to pick up my phone and see if I can find them, because tomorrow I post as many pictures of Doris Roberts as I can in celebration of what would have been her 99th birthday. Hard to believe. So let me just put in birthday. Oh, let me just put in Doris Roberts. That's a good one. Although that will be too many. It's a tough one. It's really a tough one. If your birthday fell, so Doris, Peter, Raymond, and Patty all had birthdays that fell during the filming season. And guess who got screwed? Brad Garrett. Robert was left high and dry because I believe his birthday is April. And by then, the show is no longer being filmed. So Robert missed out on every single birthday cake. So usually on set, for the main actors, they would bring a cake out and the whole audience would sing them happy birthday. And the cake would be cut and handed out. I know Dora too. It comes to mind now that she had a birthday cake during the audience, for the audience, in front of the audience, and also during the table read. So there's a picture of Larry Babbitts bringing her out a cake and her blowing it out before a table read. And the other one is in front of the audience. And I found a few with Doris. I found a few recent ones of Doris. Okay, so let's see. Doris. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Oh, it just went away. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is a long time ago. Here we go, folks. Just for you, right there. Doris Roberts. Let me get rid of reflection. Doris Roberts blowing out her birthday cake. It says November 4th, 2020. That is not when it is. So there you go. So that cake, I don't know if that's in front of the audience or not. It might be. I think that's Rhonda standing behind her. So you would usually celebrate. And then like for Phil Rosenthal's birthday, everyone else's birthday, we in the writer's room in the production office, which is on the other side of Warner Brothers, you would get a cake as well, and they would roll it out at lunchtime. But it was always fun when somebody had a birthday. And I think we had to celebrate Ray. I don't think we were filming December 21st ever, but we definitely I have pictures of Ray getting a cake. So if we knew we were going to finish filming, hold on one second, some more. Okay. Some more. If we knew we weren't going to film anymore, like if we wrapped on December 18th, we would give Raymond his birthday cake then. Oh, that's funny. Her cake matches her outfit. Pure coincidence. Yes, biscuits of the month. Thank you. And again, Americans are like, what is a biscuit? A biscuit is not a cookie. Why would you say that? So for you in the UK, you can know that. Let me see this. The story of the celebrity you nearly met. I'm curious now. Next week, I promise to tell you, Karen, the whole story. I don't know if I've told it. I don't think I've ever told this story on air. Yes, remind me, Karen, remind me. Hey, Tom, write me that. Okay. The laughing. Okay. Does Madeline Sweetman have a P.O. box? Interesting question. Karen, great crunchy noises. Yes. Now I try to deliver as many crunchy noises as possible, especially then. All right, everybody. I do have, look at this. I know we have to go, but here we go. Here, for those of you that haven't followed before, Tom Caltabino here, writer on Everyone's Rain. There is a script. It is somebody's cranky, and a lot of wardrobe scripts. For those of you who don't know, I saved all these from the dumpster. Raymond is not very exciting because his wardrobe is the same all the time. But here, this is, I'll post the rest here. Proof. There I am. So for those of you, some people have commented like, why are they crooked? That is me. I'm standing next to Raymond, who's looking at my script in between takes. The wardrobe department takes this for continuity. And they're trying to take a picture discreetly and get in and out as quickly as possible. So that's why the actors aren't looking. All they're looking is, here's what Ray was wearing. His shirt was open. His jewelry was here. His watch wasn't on his wrist, all that stuff. But so these candid photos. So there I am. Ray, I don't know what we're discussing. I don't remember. It looks like we're in Robert's apartment. So the rest I will post. All right. I will post all these from somebody cranky. Someone's cranky. All right. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you for your questions and your answering other people who are in the know. So make sure you vote on the Christmas ornament. I think we're going to end up having to do a couple because it feels like people are too thrilled with the variety, which is a very good thing. All right. And thank you. And again, thank you for your biscuit/cookie recommendations. This one I just spotted and I'm like, oh, Speculous, which is not a good sounding name. It sounds a little bit not good. Not good to our ears. All right. Have a good week, everybody. Tomorrow's Doris Roberts' birthday. Tons of Doris Roberts pictures coming up. See you next week.